If right now life feels flat, boring, you're at a bit of a dead end when it comes to moving the needle forward, then in this video I'm going to explain exactly why this is and how we get to solve it. So let's get into it. Now, the first thing I need you to know is you are a master manifester, right? Not only for the good things, but the life that you're living right now, you have manifested. And I think a problem a lot of people have is they think they can only manifest the future, but you are currently living in a life that you have manifested, right? You get that. I know you get that point. Unfortunately, a lot of people are walking around living their life unconsciously, unaware of their current thought patterns, their routines, their habits. They're doing the same thing over and over. Stay in this loop because your brain is there to keep you in the safe, the known, the familiar, right? If you've watched my previous videos, you will know that. So what I want to do inside this video is I want us to take you from unconsciously living a life that is getting you the same result into actually understanding what needs to change and how it needs to change on an unconscious level so you can really break free from the life that you're currently living, right? Because it's not just changing your routines, it's changing the internal programming which is causing you to have these routines or live the life that you're living right now. Now, what I mean by we're living life unconsciously, that if life feels flat, dead, boring, all of that, or you're at a dead end, and it's because you're living unconsciously, what this essentially means is right now, you're doing the same thing, right? So you wake up and you're on autopilot, you're doing the same thing. So you wake up, your first thought is probably I need to wee, brush my teeth, then I'm going to go have my coffee, then I'm going to sit at my desk, then I'm going to do this amount of work, and then I'm going to have lunch, and then I'm going to go for my walk, and I'm going to go back to the desk, and then I'm going to do this, I'm going to log off, and then I do this again, and then I do this, right? It's this constant repeat of just autopilot of I just do the same thing, and it's unconsciously happening because they're all habits, they're routines, right? And it's keeping you in the known, it's keeping you in the familiar, it's keeping you going, it's keeping you surviving. But right now you're bored of surviving and you want to thrive, which means we need to change. So essentially what I need you to know is, let's first of all start with the fact that you're just in this same routine, right? So I'm just going to draw it like this, which is just showing how like you wake, you work, you rest, and you're just repeating that cycle, right? Now, the other part to that is, where does this cycle come from? This is where a lot of people go wrong. This cycle has literally been taught to you, and it's what you've done your entire life. And that's because in life, we grow up in boxes, okay? And I've done a previous video on this, but essentially you are living life inside of a box where it's just the same routine happening over and over again. But what created this box, right? This is where there's more depth here. This box was created when you was younger by 3 other boxes, okay? Now these boxes, your family box, school, society, your societal box, okay? Now within each of these boxes, you have learned how to be a particular person. You've learned the rules. You've learned like what you can do, what you can't do, right? So your family rules, maybe you grow up as the good girl in the house who is constantly told be good, behave, don't be too much. Maybe in school you weren't the popular girl, so you learned how to be shy, how to be quiet, how to be timid, how to keep yourself to yourself. Then maybe in society, when you try to dress differently and people would make comments, judge you, that's made you basically filter yourself to what? To shrink yourself to fit into a box of this is the way life is. That when I try and be different, that someone's going to take me back down. That when I express myself, actually that's not enough. Or whatever these rules are, right? It's all happened unconsciously. That when you are growing up, you have taken on all of the beliefs from other people, but also you've made meanings of certain experiences which have led you to believe certain things are true, right? And that is what your beliefs are, okay? And your beliefs have come from all of this, family, school, society, all of that has basically conditioned you, and it's given you rules. So what's happening now is you're now living in this box as your adult self, and you're still following the rules. You're still following the beliefs that you took up when you was a child about how to fit in, about how to shrink yourself, how to be palatable, how to be nice, how to dress, how to think, how to work, how many hours you work, what type of work you do, how you speak to people, like boundaries, all of that. That has all led you to now be within this box, and that's where you're operating. Now the problem with the box is it is there to keep you small. It is there to keep you basically in this like shrunken place, and it's there to basically guide you. Now, what we don't want to do here is now blame this, is go, oh, it's my family's fault, oh, it's my school's fault, it's my teacher's fault, oh, it's society's fault. That's not what we want to do. Now we want to take self-responsibility, because one, yes, we go through experiences when we're younger and they have an emotional impact of us, you know, if family or teachers or people have said certain things. But the second part to that is we are also, when we're younger, making meaning of experiences. And if you think about it, back then between the ages of 0, 7 and 7 to 12, you wouldn't know how to actually make sense of an experience. So it's all basically like false meanings to events, right? Which is so fine. But now we get to look at that and we get to create new meanings for these experiences. So you right now, the adult that you are today, you're living inside this box, and this box is basically rules, it's conditioning, and it's a capped identity, right? It's capped. So what we now want to do is, if you just feel like you're boxed in, you're suffocating, you just feel in this like stagnant place, you've probably outgrown the box, or even the box just doesn't fit who you really are. And now what we need to do is we need to go through a phase of self-discovery, right? We need to know and understand what is actually causing you to stay here. Okay, so this is where we now want to look into your actual identities. Okay, so now we're looking into your actual identity, right? Because right now you're living inside your identity box, which is where everything is just on repeat like this. So what is your identity made up of? Let's break this down. So first of all, you are living as you, right? So we have your reality. Reality is created by your identity, so your behavior, because how you behave creates your reality, right? Your day-to-day actions is what's creating this external reality, what you do and what you don't do. Your emotions, because we act on how we feel. Thoughts, your thoughts create your feelings. You have your beliefs. Okay, and I've said this in a previous video, but your beliefs create your thoughts create your feelings then dictate what you do and you don't do, so your actions, right? And that's what's creating your current reality. So if we want to change reality and we want to get out of the box, we need to change your identity. And in order to change your identity, we have to change your beliefs. When we change your beliefs, we automatically and instantly change your thoughts, your emotions, your behavior, which is then going to change your reality. So that is what we need to do, is we need to look into your internal programming. We need to look into the beliefs that you currently have around your identity, right? Your self-concept, your identity, what you can do, what you can't do, what you believe about life, what you believe about success, what you believe about money, what you believe about yourself. All of that, we need to be looking into that if you want to change your reality. Now, the reason that this is so important is because obviously we have your identity, right? Which is here. So your identity. This is where I'm going to explain why affirmations don't work, is we have your identity. Now, your brain has been wired for safety and not success, right? It's wired for safety over success. It's wired to keep you in the known, the predictable, the familiar. It's literally there to protect you, to keep you here. So what your brain does is it goes, okay, this is who I am, so I need to keep myself safe and in this identity in order to basically survive, right? Because your brain is trying to keep you away from danger, whatever it perceives to be dangerous. Brain, you then have something called your RAS, okay? So your reticular activating system. I'm just going to do, I don't know why I'm doing a triangle, but we're just going to call this your RAS, which is inside your brain, right? Your reticular activating system. Your reticular activating system is filtering your reality through the lens of your beliefs, because your reticular activating system is there to basically confirm your identity and what you believe to be true. Let me repeat that. Your RAS is there filtering reality to confirm your beliefs to be true. So this is where a lot of people in the self-development world will go, okay, this is where you need to affirm different thoughts, right? So for example, basically just like repeating to yourself, I'm money abundant, I'm successful, I'm worthy, right? People then start to say these affirmations. The reason affirmations and journaling do not work in the long term for long-term change is because you're just trying to rewrite something that is unconsciously embedded in your identity. So essentially what this means, and I'm trying to do it in like simpler terms, simpler wording for you, just then like you can really understand, is if we just go back a step, a lot of people will then go, right, in order to create a different reality, I need different beliefs, different thoughts, And in order to have different beliefs and different thoughts, I need to change how I'm speaking to myself. So then on a conscious level, you'll try and rewrite money is bad with money is great, money is abundant. The reason this doesn't work is because your RAS is filtering reality to confirm your identity. But if you deep down have unconscious beliefs, money is bad, success is hard. What are other common ones? Money is hard to make. I have to work all the time to be happy. I've got another money one. Money doesn't grow on trees. If you have these unconscious beliefs, then you can't just rewrite these beliefs with an affirmation because it's unconscious. Now, what it means by an unconscious belief is that when you grew up, you have made meanings of certain experiences, or you've been told certain things about money, about success, about who you are, which have left like an emotional toll on you, right? And what happens is that has all been stored in your memory. It's still in your brain. It's still there. When you saw your dad working all the hours just to not get paid that much and he always looked miserable, just when you were told always save your money, don't spend your money, when you were told money doesn't grow on trees, we can't afford that, when you wasn't able to get a toy because you don't deserve it because you haven't behaved well enough, like it has to be hard, it has to be difficult, I have to grind all the time. These are all beliefs that you have, right? They don't come from nowhere. They have been picked up along your life. So essentially is you can't just rewrite that with a conscious belief because it's stored in your memory that actually no, we believe it to be this way because of what we've seen, we've been taught, and what we felt from the past. So that is why you can't just change it. Okay, so actually what we need to do is, if you're thinking, well then if I can't affirm it and I can't do journaling to get myself out of it, what the hell do I do? Then we have to change you from living unconsciously to living consciously, right? And what this basically means is, so step one is you need to go from unconscious living to then consciously reprogramming the unconscious. And this is exactly what I do in my program, which is called Disrupt the Pattern, which, if not obvious, is there to basically break you free from all of this, right? Now, if we just go back to the main point of this video, if life feels boring, flat, you're at a dead end, it's because of those unconscious beliefs, right? And maybe you've tried affirmations, maybe you've tried journaling, but the beliefs are actually underneath the surface, right? They're underneath, they've been stored in your memory, they are your beliefs, they're not universal. So what we need to do is we need to understand, what is the repeated narrative you have in your head? What's the repeated thought you have in your head? Why is it that you feel that you can't take your foot off the gas? Why is it that you feel that you can't speak on camera? Why is it that you feel this way? What is the underlying beliefs? When we understand the belief that we have, so we have the belief, we then get to basically disrupt that using unconscious reprogramming, which is everything I do as someone who has trained in NLP. As soon as we change the belief, the behavior instantly changes, right? So as soon as we take that belief, success is hard, okay, cool, where have you picked that up from? And we do this unconsciously, but where have you picked that up from? What have you seen? What have you heard? What have you felt? Okay, now let's give that a new meaning. And that is essentially like the work that has to be done if you are in that like limbo space, or you just feel like you're not moving forward. The other part to that is, I will say, not everyone is ready for that level of change. Essentially, we're going from box where everything is on autopilot and your brain is there to basically keep you going like this. And what we're trying to do is we're coming in and we're disrupting that. That's a lightning bolt, because my brand is a lightning bolt, right? So we're coming in and we're disrupting that. Yes, when you change the belief, the behavior changes. The other part to that, and this is the part that so many people miss out on, is you are going to have to go through a period of uncomfortable change. And this is the key part, because I think sometimes I've worked with clients who will have the breakthroughs, but they're not willing to actually go and make the change. You have to then have the courage to be seen differently. Okay, to be seen differently, to disrupt the patterns, to break the rules, to do things differently. Your brain and your body are going to basically resist this change, right? They're literally going to be like, no, we can't go there. But as soon as you've broken the belief and you know that you can go there, you then have to go and create that change. So let's give an example. Let's say you had this belief that you have to work all the hours to be happy, and you break that belief, you understand where it came from, you gave that belief a new meaning, and we do all of that. Okay, then what you have to do is change your work boundaries, or then what you'd have to do is work all the time to be happy, is thinking, okay, what else is going to bring me happiness, and how do I integrate that into my routine? Now, there's so many different ways that someone can break this down, but let's say, for example, we break that belief, then we can change, okay, all the hours, do you have to work all the hours, or can we change that? And then, okay, so to be happy, well, what else can you do to be happy? And then what we want to do is we want to go through that period of change where you change your routine. We build happiness into your routine, but you have to do that consciously. You have to then go, okay, I've unconsciously been living with this belief, I now need to disrupt that, and I need to create this for myself. And then you go out and you create the change. There will be resistance, right? It will feel very unfamiliar. It is meant to. Have courage and have fun in that, and go, I am no longer living in a box. This is all about anti-conditioning and like full like liberation and self-discovery. That is the process that we need to go through if you're done with like life feeling boring, flat, that you're just stuck in limbo, or like you're just at a dead end. Okay, cool. Why are you at that dead end? Probably because you're in autopilot, same routine, doing the same thing, because you're inside this box. So this is what I can do, what I can't do. So we need to figure out, okay, why is that? What are the beliefs? Let's break the beliefs, or break your fear that is keeping you here. As soon as we do that, we then take aligned actions. Let's go. We go from unconscious living to consciously reprogramming, and then you create a new reality and you go back into unconscious living, but in the reality that you want, right? So all we need to do is basically upgrade your internal programming. It's like an iOS update. So that's what I wanted to go through in this video. If you're interested in doing the one-to-one work and like really just disrupting like the beliefs and everything that's happening unconsciously, and you're ready to step into your next level and for life to feel magnetic, amazing, and like you're really thriving and things are actually moving forwards because you no longer have the internal limitations, DM me the word disrupt over on Instagram, and I'll be so happy to run you through exactly what my program includes and how we can work together and how it will benefit you and exactly what we can achieve together. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.